It is Friday, June 28, 2024, and at about 8:14 Pacific Daylight Time, we had a SpaceX launch out of Vandenberg, and it is NROL-186 mission. It is a classified U.S. government mission, so the video isn't all there, so to speak. The other thing that you will see as it goes is I have problems tracking the missile as it goes because the sun is just in the wrong position, and then I just kind of lose it. But we tried something different this time. We have one of the cell phones over to a really good launch narrative site. I don't know what it is. We'll have to find it sometime and give it appropriate credit. They did a really good job. And you're going to see a couple of flashing thingies in the near the contrail, and we haven't been able to identify those before. Now we know what they are because we watched another video in detail that talked about the launch. And what they are is they are the shrouds that protect the payload as it goes through the atmosphere. Once you get above a certain point, atmospheric drag is significantly reduced. You don't need the weight anymore, so you shed all the weight that you possibly can. And that those two shroud pieces that work like clamshells over the payload are two of the pieces you don't need. This time here, we also go over to that same launch video site and we watch the first stage recover on its docking ship, the docking platform. Let's see how the video works. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Stage 1 trigger pressure nominal.
Okay, we're trying to set it up so we can
At T plus
record.
30 seconds, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Slick 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Coming up next, the vehicle will be passing through max Q, which is the point in the mission profile where the vehicle will experience the greatest amount of aerodynamic pressure as it ascends. Power and telemetry nominal. Good call out there. We should hear that call out for max Q in about 15 seconds from now. Vehicle is supersonic.
There it is. We have it. See the tail.
Max Q. And there's that call out for max Q. Coming up next, we'll have 3 events happening in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by stage step, and then SES-1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage separates from the second stage.
Okay, yeah.
Followed by this,
Joyce just pointed out that that's the contrail, but the vehicle is up here.
Second engine start 1 or SES-1.
Now we can start to see the tail of the vehicle.
Minutes will propel the second stage and the payload to orbit. And in addition to these 3 major events, the fairing halves will separate less than a minute after SES-1. So keep an eye out for all of these events happening in about 30 seconds from now. And as a reminder, we will not have any views of stage 2 or the payload at the request of our customer.
So what we were trying to find before, when we had those 2 things appear, that's the shroud around the payload, and we're...
Something just came off.
And a good ascent so far by the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. As you heard, we're coming upon those events in fairly rapid succession. You see MECO.
It looks like it just shed one of them, maybe?
Call of stage separation. And you see that booster separation there on your screen. And the last views we'll see of that second stage. As you heard from SpaceX, they will not be providing any additional views.
There's the shrouds that just shed.
So we won't be seeing payload fairing separation.
You can see the shroud occasionally glimmer in the sun. There it was again. The shrouds are disposable. They're not recovered.
Good bearing separation from upper stage of the Falcon 9 rocket. Because this is a classified payload, that's why SpaceX is not providing views of the upper stage events. So we will be left with the booster from here to the end of the broadcast.
And I just lost the missile itself.
Those pulses you're seeing are the cold gas thrusters, helping to adjust the attitude or the positioning of this Falcon 9 first stage booster.
I'm trying to find
its way down towards the drone ship.
I don't see the missile. I can't catch.
Booster's reaching altitude now of 116 kilometers.
Right over.
I see it. I just can't get it in the camera.
No, it's still climbing. It's generally speaking about the apogee of a first stage booster.
So, since I lost the missile, I can't pick up the missile because...
If you did have good views of the Falcon 9 rocket as it was making its climb up, you have a photo or video, be sure to tag us on X. Love to see what you were able to capture tonight. Now, we're not too far away from sunset there in California, so likely some more stunning views if the conditions were right.
I'm going to come back to the contrail. Here's the missile trail. And then I'm going to let the audio...
5 minutes to flight. The next milestone that we're
Very
anticipating is
small.
the start of that
Very
first stage
not bright.
entry burn. That comes up at about T plus 6 minutes and 8 seconds.
Way high.
That entry burn will see the first stage booster ignite 3 of the 9 Merlin 1D engines to begin to slow the vehicle down, in addition to some assistance from atmospheric drag, dropping the speedometer that you see there on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You'll note that in addition to not getting any upper stage views, SpaceX is also not providing any telemetry data from the Falcon 9 second stage.
Right now I'm just waiting at a normal spot for the first stage 3 Merlin engines to ignite to slow it down. There it is.
Cool. That's bright enough.
Now, a little more than 6 minutes into flight. We're less than 10 seconds away from the start of that entry burn.
Yeah.
A little bit of actuation from those hypersonic grid fins. Start of that entry burn now beginning.
Oh, she's
This
way
burn
out
lasts
there.
about
Just
20
hold the phone
seconds.
still.
This one's behind the tree. And we can't see that one either. Contrail looks good.
Illusion of that entry burn. Coming up the next milestone, we're anticipating it's coming up at T plus 7 minutes 51 seconds. The start of that landing burn.
Yeah, swaying.
Good call for both booster and upper stage following nominal trajectories. The booster comes through some clouds there. You can see the speedometer continue to plummet dramatically. A little more than 7 minutes into flight. Less than 50 seconds away from that first stage landing burn beginning.
The bottom left-hand numbers are the speed and the altitude.
Falcon 9 now transonic, traveling below the speed of sound. Ten seconds from the start of that landing burn. There's the start of the landing burn. Should see some views of the drone ship coming up momentarily. landing legs. And by audio, we've got a confirmation of the stage 1 landing. Now we've got a good visual as well.
That thing?
This booster completing its 8th launch and landing.
Wow.
This was the 255th drone ship landing of a booster and the 322nd booster landing.
Cool.
Taking a live look inside of the control room there at Hawthorne, California. SpaceX about to peel away from these views from inside Hawthorne. The next milestones, though, for the mission, even though they're going to peel away from our live views of it, be the second stage engine cutoff, or SECO 1. That happened at about T+8 minutes 39 seconds. There will be reportedly a second burn of that Merlin vacuum engine coming up at T+53 minutes 13 seconds. That's a brief 2-second burn, setting up the deployment of the unknown number of satellites that make up the NROL 186 mission, deploying at an unknown time because it's one of the many things the NRO keeps very much under its hat.
And we're going to kill it.
Walking back down from our hill behind our house in Southern California, where we climb a ridge line so that we can watch this. The missile launches come through the ridge line due west of our house and then climb into the southern Pacific atmosphere. Here's a couple of the contrails that we have. Not a real good contrail flight because of the time in relation to sunset, and using a couple of older terminologies that people mix up in as if it might differ. A missile is a steerable system, and when you fire a missile, you can make adjustments as it goes to get it to where you want it to go. A rocket is a ballistic system. You pointed at something, you pull the trigger, it goes off, and you just pray it goes where you want it to go. So they're used interchangeably nowadays. So you really just have fun with it. Hey, great launch site, great launch. Just wish we had better pickup on the contrail, and really tough to track the vehicle itself because of the sun or the excessive sun or whatever. Whatever. If they're a little bit later, they're easier to track. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.